afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dropping the Gloves. We got a good one here. I would consider this guy maybe a tertiary friend of mine. I've met him along the way. I'm kind of more friends with his uncle and aunt. They took me out in Savannah a couple months ago. But Connor Clifton is joining the show from Boston. Connor, how are you, my friend?
Great, John. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited we set this up, made it work.
I'm super excited. You're a very just low key, I want to say just a cool guy to be around. You don't get too high, you don't get too low. Am I off base by saying that? You seem to be pretty even keel.
Most of the time, yeah, I am. Yeah, I would say
What do
that.
you mean most of the time?
I mean, sometimes I get a little pissed off out there on the ice, but not really off. So,
Well, that's what
but
and I try to be even keel too, and I try to be the same way, but it doesn't happen. I get angry too. But how do you, like, you're a small guy and you play and we'll get into the interview soon, but I'm just like, you're the most melancholy guy I think I've ever talked to, maybe for a long time. But how do you flip that switch? Because on the ice, you're an animal. Like, you throw your body around, you just throw caution to the wind out there.
yeah, I think honestly, I was a pretty reckless kid in everything
Uh,
in everything I did, really. Like skiing, my mom used to scream at me because I would just go straight down the mountain and no fear at all. So I kind of have brought that on the ice, my whole career, and obviously making it to the NHL. I feel like I outcompeted my way to the NHL, and you got to do what got you there. So
which a lot of guys don't do, which is nuts. Because I feel like, mind you, I was a big goon and you're a very skilled hockey player, but I feel like we had the same trajectory, kind of path to the show, go to the NCAA, whatever, work your way up, AHL. How many times have you seen guys who are a star in the NCAA, like putting up massive points? You get to the pro ranks, but they don't want to do, the hard stuff. Does it ever, it irked me a little bit where I'm seeing like a first rounder, second rounder, and it's like, man, just back check, just block some shots, just do some extra work and you'll be super skilled. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to get into it too much, but did that annoy you, or did you see that a lot coming up through Providence?
yeah, I mean, I was like you. I was a 4 year college guy at Quinnipiac, um, and I needed all 4 of those years. And eventually, after I graduated, um, got drafted by Phoenix, and
Yeah.
basically they didn't want to sign me, so basically just expired. So I had a free summer. I finished school like after our season ended pretty early that year. So I finished school. I have a whole summer ahead, and then I end up on an American League deal in Providence. So that was kind of my path. Um,
So how
yeah,
does that
it
work? Sorry, because I thought that their time frame elapsed, and you did that on purpose because you didn't want to go to Phoenix. So they didn't even offer you a contract coming out of college. That's what you're
yeah, it was
saying?
mutual. Yeah, they didn't. No, they actually asked if I wanted to come play on ATO, and I asked some guys. My brother, who was my roommate, and he actually graduated the same year I did. He's 3 years older, did a couple years of junior, and he had signed an ATO out in San Jose, so he went out and he played a couple games and was there for their playoff run with the Barracuda. And I wasn't, right. So they wanted me to come play. I just didn't see a point in it. Like they had 4 years to watch me,
Yeah.
and at that point, yeah, I probably would have played if I was a free agent at the end of the year and I could play anywhere. I probably would have played somewhere where I want to be. But like, it just worked out that they had 4 years to watch me in college,
No,
and they didn't talk to me that much, or they weren't very interested. That's fine. It worked out for me. But yeah, I just decided I didn't want to go out there play on an amateur tryout
just
contract.
imagine you could have potentially played with me out in
Was that,
Phoenix, because
yeah? Was that
I
your?
was out there. That would have been a have for you, wouldn't it have been?
It would. It really would have been. I'd be doing whatever I want out there.
Just a king of the castle. I was noticing when you were in Quinnipiac, speaking of doing whatever you want, you had 106 PIMs your first year in Quinnipiac. How on earth? Because you don't fight in college. The most I had in one year was 101 at Michigan Tech.
I
How
got
did
you
you
there
get
last
106
year.
PIMs your freshman year, Connor?
I had 4 majors, so that was 5 and 10 right there. There's 60, and that's how I got.
Checking from behind?
I think there was two head contacts, one check from behind, one board, and two check
Connor,
from behinds.
you didn't
I
learn
know,
your
a little
lesson?
reckless. I did after that year. I learned it in the summertime.
So you're in the off season. You didn't sign with Phoenix. Was there a lot of different offers? Was
No,
Providence? Did they give you the option? Was it just an
no.
AHL? Was it an East Coast? How did that work out?
It was an AHL one way.
Okay,
Um,
and one
both my
offer,
deals were
only
the same.
Providence.
Providence and Binghamton.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you picked the hometown team, obviously.
Well, talking to my agent, Providence basically had zero righties. Like I got scratched 20 something games my first year,
Yeah,
pro improv, and when I got scratched, we played six lefty D. Wild.
that's when you know you're bad. When you're rolling out six lefty and you're a righty and you can't even crack the lineup.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Struggle.
but then fast forward 2 years because you made the jump to the NHL the very next year. You played what 16 games with the Boston Bruins, and this wasn't a Bruins team that was the Phoenix Coyotes. This was a Bruins team that was a Stanley Cup contender. President's Trophy type talent there. How does that happen where you go from getting healthy scratch 20 games to making the NHL the very next year?
Yeah, I mean, I just I worked. I got better my first year, and by the end of that year, I was playing like a lot more and playing consistently through those American League playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And what ended up happening was I actually sometime in March, or must have been it was the NHL trade deadline. We had traded Rob O'Gara from Providence for he went to New York, I think, for Nick Holden. So O'Gara was on Providence. He was up and down all year, but at that time, so when he left, that was like kind of an opening for me. It's kind of how I snuck my way in consistently.
Yeah.
Um, and then the rest of the year went great for me. And then what
Well, it
happened
must have been
was,
because
yeah,
you go to Boston at the end of the season.
yeah. So then I finished that year. I ended up signing my entry level. I guess 2 days after our season ended, we lost to Lehigh in I think round one. Um, and then then I'm on my first NHL contract. Right, I was 23. I was
Mm-hmm.
23, so it was a 2 year deal. And then in November of that, my first year of my entry level deal or contract, I found myself as the 12th D to play in the NHL for Boston that year. So the opportunity I had, it was some injuries made an opportunity for me, and I feel like I took the most of it.
I'm a faithful guy. I call it God's providence because, yeah, 12 guys getting hurt is not normal. Typically, one or two guys get hurt, and maybe 8 or 9 defensemen play on a roster. 12 for a team, Connor, that was destined for potentially the Stanley Cup. You step in being the 12th D, and it was like peanut butter and jelly. You fit right in with this roster. What was it like? And I want to spend some time here because that first year, it's a hell of a
Yeah,
first year to come into the NHL. You're
yeah,
stepping into a locker room with Marchand having his best year statistically. You got Pasta, who's just coming into his own. You obviously got Bergeron and Krejci. You got Chara, for Pete's sake, Backus, McAvoy. You have all these stars, and you're this young kid fresh off being a free agent, a healthy scratch last year in Providence, and now you're playing big minutes in Boston. What's going through your head? Like, that's crazy stuff.
yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it brings me back to basically like how it is for college guys. I never even went to a Boston development camp because I was with Arizona.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anyone. I showed up basically 2 weeks, end of August, 2 weeks early for like my first Boston main camp. I went to the rookie camp, whatever, the week before. But all the NHL guys are skating there already. So I show up. Not only do I have to meet, 60 people, I also have to walk in the room and, Bergie and Big Z and Marsh and Kretsch and Tuca are just sitting there on foam rollers. So, you know, it for that, it's like I feel like major junior guys have such an advantage. I was 22 at the time, before my first year, and those 18-year-olds that got drafted 4 years before, they're at their fourth and fifth camp. It's
Yeah.
like they're
And
already
these are your
comfortable, and
idols you're
it's
walking into. Like, you probably
right.
loved the Bruins growing up. Is it intimidating? Did you play your best that
Oh
camp? What's
yeah.
that like? Like, that's
No,
crazy.
no, I didn't. No, I didn't. You get a little starstruck, uh, and you try to survive at that point because you're out of your element, and you're meeting all this. You're like, wow, like Big Z's doing edge work, warm up drills, and I'm just like, what am I doing here? So
So obviously you did you make the team at a camp? I don't think so.
no, my first year, no. I was only on American League deal, so
Okay, your
I
second
got
year,
my second year. That was the first year of my entry level. I ended up
yep.
getting sent down pretty early too.
And
Um,
then you get called back up, and then it's just playoff time. Let's talk about that because this is the team that goes to the Stanley Cup final. And I was looking at the box scores, and I'm trying to track, this game. It's the Bruins are on their way to a Stanley Cup. You're a 23-year-old kid still. You're playing for your hometown team. You're playing in the playoffs, 18 games. Game 7. What happened? Game 6 you played. You played game 5. 4-3-2-1. Why did you not dress game 7? I want to know that because you ended up losing 5-1 to the St. Louis Blues. What happened, Connor, between game 6 and 7? What did you say to the coach?
well, I honestly didn't say anything. We got hotel rooms at the Four Seasons in Boston the night before,
Oh,
and
you
we had
went out and
dinner.
you missed curfew.
We
Typical
no,
Connor.
God no, God no. So we had like team dinner, and at that point, Grizzy. I played most of the playoffs with Grizz. In game
Mm-hmm.
one, he actually got hit. He got boarded. He ended up getting a concussion, and he missed games 2 through 6. And
Yep.
I played with Johnny Moore, um, and then so at that dinner, Grizz was taking the concussion test, try to get back, uh, all through the all through the series, and I knew that. Obviously, I'm talking to him about it. And the night before, he had passed, so I
Oh,
knew he could potentially be in. I don't know if I'm playing with him or if he's playing with. I don't know what's happening.
yeah.
So I ended up finding we go to morning skate. I don't think we morning skate, but we went to the rink, and I found out then. Yeah, I found out then, and Butch Cassidy had pulled me aside and basically was just like, you know what, I want to go. I want to go with the veteran lineup, and I'm not going to sit there and cry about it. I said, listen, I did my job. Let's go. Let's win the Stanley Cup
Yeah.
kind of thing.
What's
Um,
that like sitting watching game 7 after you battled
sucked.
the whole playoffs? Is that torture?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I love a good pregame nap. So after lunch, I go home and I go down. I don't know, a little short of 2 hours, hour and a half maybe. I couldn't even sleep. I didn't even try. My stomach was in knots. Just all I'm doing. I'm a spectator that night,
Ah,
right? So
yeah.
I took.
That's tough.
I
Did you
ended up.
even
I was there because Big Z had a broken jaw just in case. But so I was taking warm ups, but I
yeah.
couldn't even nap.
So
Felt
did
sick. Like
I've been around playoff runs, but never playing. I played a couple games with Chicago, but not to the extent that you did. You're obviously a huge part of that team. Being so young, you were still a big part of that team. What was it like? Like you're one win away from winning the Stanley Cup in Game 6, and you're in the mix. You're with these legends, these future Hall of Famers. What? Give me a glimpse of what that's like for a rookie, Connor Clifton, being in that situation.
I might have been a rookie and I wasn't up for the whole regular season, but man, did I feel part of that team. Like those guys do the world class and making you feel part of it, and making you feel welcome. And I actually, I guess, a little story on that. First game of Carolina, game one of Carolina, we had just beat Columbus in 6 games, and I played most of the playoff with Grizzy on third
Mm-hmm.
pair, and McAvoy actually got suspended. He hit Anderson. They ended up giving him 1 game suspension. So game one of the Carolina series, and I remember I was lined up with Big Z. So that's
Yeah.
pretty insane and a little nervous. We practiced the day before together and a little nervous. I don't know if it's going to stick, but now it's pregame skate. We practice together, and I mean he's incredible. Like kind of just came over me like we were in the shower. And he came over to me and said, "Listen, Cliffy, we're equals tonight. I don't
This is
care
going to
how
go
old you are,
sideways pretty quick.
how old
Hold
I
on, make
am."
sure.
He was like, "Yeah, yeah, right. Okay." We had towels on right outside the shower,
Okay, good.
and he was like,
We're in the
"We're
shower and he
equals.
grabs the soap.
We're equals. Tonight let's talk to each other." We hadn't played much, if at all, together, to be honest. Before that, we're equals. He tells me, we're in this together. Let's go. Let's talk. Let's compete. And it was crazy, crazy moment. We played great together, and then We won that game, and then McAvoy served his time, came back. We ended up sweeping Carolina, but that was a pretty cool moment for me as this
Heck
young
yeah. Was he
kid
as
playing.
good? Like what made him so good? Because as a defenseman, I played for a long time. There isn't so much you can do to reinvent the wheel. Like what made him so good? Because he's this massive human, I get that, but I feel like there was more that he did with the puck and without the puck that made him so good. I don't know. You played with him. Like, why
I
was he
mean,
so good?
he was a competitor. He practiced like he was playing in round three, game one of the Stanley Cup final.
No
He
kidding.
he 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 was on like that. He was on, and then when he was off the ice, he was off. So he world class at player. I mean, guy, the way he took care of himself. I mean, he practiced the same way. Everything was hard, right? I mean, super skilled, super long stick, great skater for being 6'9".
Hmm.
And I mean, he wouldn't get beat. He was just so good at closing and taking pucks, and then boom, then next thing you know, he has the puck on a stick. He's hitting the middle, the center support, middle, easy exit. And I played with him. I mean, he was late 30s, if not 40, when I started playing with him.
Right? Yeah.
So he was in the league. I think he hit
For 20 years.
1,500 games. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
So
24. Honestly,
you
I
had
think he
such
hit
an old.
1,500 games my first or second year. So I was like,
It's like I
1,500.
got 15,
Oh my
bro.
God. Yeah. Yeah, right.
So you had
1,500.
this veteran lineup with him and Bergeron and Krejci and Tuca was older and Backus was old. What was the vibe like in the room after the loss? Because you're at home, the place is going nuts, and then obviously it didn't go like everybody wanted. You lose 4-1. Grizzy scored the goal for you guys to kind of make it a game, but I don't know. Put words to that moment because you're obviously there. You know, you're in the room with these guys. They're coming off the ice. Is it just pissed, or
Yeah,
everyone's just like, I'm done?
it's more heartbroken.
Yeah.
Obviously, how it played out.
Ugh,
I think, I mean, the team we had, I think everyone in that room was certain we were going to win.
yeah.
So yeah, just heartbreak. I mean,
That's
that's
tough. I can tell you're holding back tears. I don't want to stay here too long. You're getting a little sentimental. So,
yeah.
the next few years, you solidify yourself in this roster. You become a big part of this team. You're playing good minutes. You're playing 60, 70, eventually like 78 games your last season. And I want to fast forward to that last season because I'd be remiss not to talk about the best regular season in NHL history. You guys get 135 points. It's Patrice Bergeron's last year. You had your career high in points that year. What happened? How did you guys win every single game you played and get 135 points? Like, was it just everything's going right, nothing's going wrong, nobody really got hurt, both goalies were clicking? Like, talk about that because that's I've never experienced that where everything was rolling your way.
That's exactly what was happening. We had 65 wins. The regular season went, I mean, couldn't have gone better, obviously. Even the games we were bad, we'd end up winning.
Yeah,
Like, you know how it is 82 games, it gets a long season. You're going to have off nights. And when we did, our goalies were brick walls back there.
Swayman and Allmark.
And
Like, as a better duo, Swayman and Allmark, or would you rather have Halak and Rask? Go
I
on,
was
Connor.
feeling pretty good with any of the four. You know what? I was feeling pretty good with any of the four. And
Oh,
I mean, in Boston, we always played uh, such a structured defense.
yeah.
So, of course, breakdowns happen, but you know, when they did, we still, gave up a B chance, right? So, but man, when we gave up those grade A's, we were
Well,
lucky. We were
you had
lucky to have one
such a
of
good
those four back
team.
there.
Yeah, it was so unstoppable. Then obviously, I have to talk about this again. Much like the Stanley Cup Game 7 loss, you've been a part of some pretty massive like moments in Boston history in Game Sevens. But you play Florida first round. Obviously, you were the number one seed there, the number 8 seed. You go up 3-1. Things are looking pretty good. Again, this was pretty recent. What the hell happened? How does that slip through your fingers? Was it my theory is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Patrice Bergeron should not have played. I think he was selfish and played game 5, 6, and 7, and you lost all 3 of those games. I think he should have sat out. And I know you feel the same way because you're not saying anything.
Well,
But
I
what
thought you were
happened,
going to
Connor?
say. I thought you were going to say when he got injured. I think he gets injured in game 82, which I mean that's super unfortunate. But
Oh no,
he's
it
in
was
Mon.
his. It was him coming back. I'm just making a joke. Well, what happened?
Oh,
Because like you guys were
he's.
rolling, Connor. What
I mean,
happened?
he wanted to play in Montreal. Oh, in the playoff, you're saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I I don't really know what happened. There was just I felt like the regular season had gone so well. We
yeah.
didn't really face that adversity. And then the deadline hits and we get even better,
Mm-hmm.
right? We get we get Bertuzzi, we get
Bertuzzi, yeah.
Orlov,
Orlov.
we get Hathaway. So we
Mm-hmm.
become an even better team. And then we just keep winning. And then the 65, the record was coming up, and we don't really care about a record, right? We want to win the Stanley Cup, but then we still play so good,
Yeah.
and everything was clicking. Everything was clicking. And then, yeah, we met our match, Florida. I mean, yeah, they might have been the 8th seed, but they weren't really an 8th seed. They were President's Trophy the year before. They were a good team, and you know, I wish I could sit here and say we underestimated them, but I don't think they did. We did. We
They were just good.
They beat us. Yeah.
Could you feel they obviously made the cup final that year, the first of 3 straight. Could you feel that okay, this team is there's something different with this team?
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, I mean, the way they grind is like
Yeah.
no other team plays like Florida. And if I was running a team, I would run my team exactly the way they play. They're just so hard to play against.
Well,
And
and here's
obviously,
my
the
question
talent they have
because
in that room too is absolutely massive. But the way they grind and wear you down,
yeah, but why can't you guys do that? What and I played. I don't know the answer to this either, but it's bizarre when you see a team like Florida be so successful, and they have their star players doing that. And I don't want you to answer this, but it's a head scratcher, and it goes back to my point of guys doing things that maybe they can do, they just don't want to. So, anyways,
right?
you're still playing, you can't talk about it, but your contract's up in Boston. Did you want to stay? How did those negotiations go? Was it
Uh,
flashing back to Phoenix where they say we don't want you, you're going to leave?
no, no, it wasn't. I think what ended up happening. I think I was looking for more money, and they didn't really have that to give. They obviously
Yeah.
their roster changed huge that next
Hmm.
year, and they ended up signing Shattenkirk. He played, right D3. I think he was 1-1. So, and
Yeah.
if they had him at 1-1, they probably had me at a little less. So it was time to hit the open market and move on.
And you're a coveted right-handed defenseman, like you said. Those are hard to come by in the NHL, especially one who is decent with the puck, who is physical, who has some speed, who has some experience, coming off playing the best season in regular season history. You're a playoff proven person. How many teams were beating down your door? Like there must have been dozens.
Uh, Not dozens. There's probably about 5 teams.
Okay. So why Buffalo? Was it just because they threw the Brinks truck at you? Just be honest.
No, no. I mean, I had played for Donnie Granato
Okay.
at the national team actually, so I was immediately intrigued by that because I mean, great hockey mind. I loved playing for him in junior, and that was a big part of my decision to go to Buffalo. And obviously, that was my wife had said to me, "Oh, like, you know, what happens if we're you want to go here for Donnie, but now what happens if he gets fired?" I'm like, "Oh, he's not getting fired. They're 1 point out of the playoffs. Like, look what he's done to that team." And
And
then we obviously regressed heavily the past 2 years of from that team
and
that, I think they beat us actually that year. Buffalo beat us in overtime, beat us when I was in Boston, my last year in Boston. So they were just a
so
high skilled, high flying, so many passes, buzzing her up and down the ice, getting scoring chances. Sure, giving some up, but scoring more. That was
mhm.
kind of run and gun style. And I wanted to play for Donnie.
So yeah, you had Donnie Granato, you had this young core of Darlene and Thompson and Peterka and Cousins and Power and all these great young players. It's a smart Alex Tuck was there who was great. you join this team, and you just mentioned regression. I was in Buffalo. I've been a part of that struggle, and that just it's just a weird hump you can't get over. I want to talk about the cultures because you're coming from Boston, which I've always wanted to play for the Bruins. I grew up loving the Bruins. They were my team. I've heard nothing but good things about that culture, where the guys are just rock solid humans, the ownership, the GMs, everything. It's just a good hockey culture where there's accountability. And then you go to Buffalo, and it was like that when I got there in Buffalo. So it's not, I think it's the same ownership and everything. Maybe it's changed a little bit, but I know it's still fresh. You were there this year. Can you talk about the differences between culture, between the Bruins and the Sabres? Like, what makes the Bruins so good? And the Sabres for the last 15 years seem to just can't figure it out.
I mean, I think, going into Boston, you have that. I mean, that leadership group when I came
Yeah.
into the league was just, I mean, might be some of the best players, just
The Hall of
legends,
Famers.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, Hall of Famers by far, just legends of the game. And
Yeah.
I feel like in that situation, it's easy to just get in line.
Mm-hmm.
If they're putting in the work, what are you going to sit there and not put in the work? No, you're
Yeah.
gonna you're gonna put in everything you have for those guys, and that's kind of
And
how I
that's how,
felt.
yeah, I felt that way too, going into Chicago or San Jose. When you see Jonathan Taves or Joe Thornton or these guys bagging themselves, it's like, okay, I should probably do that too
Yeah,
because he's one of the best
exactly.
players on the planet. So you're coming into a Buffalo team that was up and coming. Do you take a leadership role right away? Because
No,
you've seen what it takes. How does that first interaction go?
I I mean, when I first got to Buffalo, I just couldn't figure it out, honestly. I'm sure I was culture shocked, but I was terrible. When those games started, I didn't know what kind of player I was. I was awful. And it took me about 25 games. And I was playing left side with Eric Johnson. So I was playing the
Mm-hmm.
left. It was not going well, and I was struggling
Were you trying
mentally.
to do stuff that you is not your game? Because you mentioned earlier, I just play my game. That's what got me here. Were you trying to do too much?
I think I was trying to play the same way, but it was so different. Like our D zone was so different,
Hmm.
and we would get I would give up a goal every night, and I'm like, for 25 games basically, maybe not that many, but it took me 25 games to get going. And coincidentally, we had our game in Boston, our first game in Boston, and I
Mm-hmm.
went back and I don't know if it was, maybe I say coincidentally, but obviously comfortable with the arena. I
Yeah.
felt like I found my game back, and it literally took 25 games. That's almost half a year, the third of
No
the year.
kidding.
So
Well,
I
you
was
did finish
awful,
that year plus 12, so you must have figured it
but I was
out.
-9 or -10 at the time.
That's crazy to go
Like,
from -9
yeah,
to
maybe
plus
more,
12.
honestly, maybe more, maybe -13. Like I was so bad, and I couldn't figure it out, and I didn't know what to try, what to do. Um, so yeah, I was a little culture shocked, and eventually I settled in and found my way at a good half the season. But I also think if I had found my game sooner, I could have helped that year.
Yeah, and then obviously, listen, I want Buffalo to win as much as the next guys, I'm sure, as you do. So this year happens, and it seemed like nothing went right this season. Obviously, new coach, full season under Lindy Ruff. You would have moments of greatness. I remember I came to the game you guys played Carolina. You played fantastic, but then there'd be stretches where nothing went right, and everybody seemed disjointed, and it wasn't a cohesive team, like you said. You didn't have that leadership. So I'm not going to stick on that a little bit or too much. I want to talk about what happened during the season. Obviously, Tage Thompson, he gets ran, dirty hit. Nobody steps up. Not your fault. You weren't on the ice. He makes the comment the next day. How does that gut the team? Like how does that happen in the locker room? Because you're a guy who stands up. I saw you go after Radko Gudas last season when he went after Zucker and buried him. So you would have gone after the guy. I know that. But what's going on in the locker room? Because kind of not a great season. Tage says that. What's said in the locker room?
Uh, yeah, I mean it was tough. I was scratched that game, so I was in the press box, so it was
Of
even worse.
course.
We had dressed 7D, so I was up in the press box as the eighth D, and
Connor.
yeah,
Oh, no comments. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
What was said? I mean, I don't think. I think, I mean, watching it's obviously bad.
Yeah.
To me, it's like the guys on the ice, they didn't see it, right? So they didn't see what happened. And it sucks, but our best players laying on the ice and got clotheslined. Puck nowhere near Tomer. Obviously, Nosen had the puck
Yeah.
and moved the puck and just totally unnecessary. But whatever. I'm not on the ice. I mean, I don't think there was. We had a meeting. We had a team meeting the next day, and we got lit up. And naturally, I don't think anything was said by Kevin or Lindy that we didn't already feel. Right?
Well,
Like,
yeah, Lindy's an old school coach. Like he wants someone's head when that happens to your best player. What do the players say anything? Does somebody say something to Tage like, Tom, we're sorry, man, like we should have stepped up? Like what?
no, no, no. We don't really say anything to Tomer, but I feel for Tomer. I feel like
Yeah.
he deserves to know that we have his back. And unfortunately, we didn't there. And obviously, the next game, I think Gibby ends up fighting Olivier. Um,
Not
you
good.
watch that one?
Yeah, not good. Olivier's the toughest guy in the league.
He
So
did he did it way better than I would have.
yeah, we had
Um,
Matthew on this
and
show. The guy's a killer.
yeah, and that was Gibby's way of showing. He didn't get a shift after Nosen had hit Tomer that game.
Yeah.
So
And he's the guy who would have answered the bell, Dennis Gilbert.
100%, 100%.
All right. So I hear those things, and Gilbert's he's a decently tough guy, but he's not a Connor Clifton. Don't get me wrong. Like you're an
Oh,
absolute
he's way
animal.
tougher than me.
I've seen you chuck him. So there's that issue. The season ends. How does your year end meeting go with Kevin Adams? Because
Uh,
like usually you can get a sense of how you still have 1 year more year on your deal. So you want to be a big part of this team. How does that go? Because you did play what? You played 70 some games this past season.
yeah, 73.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin, he's trying to figure it out, and he's looking for anything that would help. All he's trying to do is make the Buffalo Sabres better, whatever he
Yeah.
can. Obviously, nothing went right. So can we blame one thing? No, we can't. We we defended poorly. We couldn't score when we defended well.
Yeah.
It was like we were all over the place. Sometimes we didn't even compete on pucks. We just thought it was we would under for whatever reason we would prepare. Not I don't even think we I wouldn't feel it. We wouldn't prepare differently, but we would we're playing LA. We'd give them a run for their money. We'd play these good teams, Winnipeg. Like we've had some great games, Minnesota. These hard nosed teams that
Then you play the
are at the
Sharks or
top of
the
the
Hawks.
standings, and
Yeah.
we would give up 6 grade A's, and then we would play San Jose at home and give up 30 grade A's and lose
Yeah.
6-2 when we're still in the hunt of playoffs. Um, so that's more or less how the season went. Like I said, I don't think it's one thing.
No, and I think that's the
We
issue.
just,
There's no consistency. And that's the frustrating part for a player is you can play good. It's just the good teams play consistently.
one of the most highly skilled teams I've ever been on.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So the year-end meeting,
Like,
you step in with Kevin. Does he tell you like, hey, I don't know where your future's headed, so keep your phone on?
no, he doesn't. He doesn't, but I mean, um, I wasn't very surprised by it. 1 year left, you think there's a chance, and there was. It was actually kind of funny. I mean, you're just honest at the end. Like the year didn't go well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were games. I mean, I ended up there was a stretch of 20 games where I'd play 11 minutes a night, and I was just pissed off all the time. Like I don't. I'm not going to sit here and complain about ice time like ever, but I was playing 11 minutes, and I'm like, obviously, you don't feel good with 11 minutes.
Well, you're a
You don't get the
competitor.
touches, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
and of course.
and it's bizarre when you go from and I know it doesn't mean much, but you're playing on the best team on the planet 2 years before, and you're getting like 18 minutes a night. So you're good enough to play. So I get it. So going into this offseason, you knew something could happen. And what's that like when you get the phone call?
It was. we're in Boston where we have this little two-bed condo, so I actually put my daughter down, and I didn't see Kevin had texted me and called
Oh
while I
no.
was in there. So I'm walking out now. My wife's already in bed. Like Callie's going down for a nap. We got an hour to nap. Let's get right. So
Yeah, yeah.
we're about to nap, and I'm setting up. I'm getting the camera on my phone so I can see, and I see Kevin calling, and my wife's already laying down. I'm like, oh, Kevin's calling.
Not
I
good.
show her, and she's like, "Oh, where are we going? Where are we
Oh
going?"
no,
Because
she said
we hadn't
that?
been part of that, but yeah, yeah. So I'm like, "Oh."
That's
So I went in our
funny.
bathroom and answered, and he'd let me know.
Pittsburgh, what's your initial thoughts? Like, because you want to, you hope you can go somewhere to a winning team, right? Or to a good situation. What's your initial thought? You got Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Carl. Like,
I
talk about
mean,
Hall of Famers. All four of them going to be Hall
yeah,
of Famers.
yeah, yeah. I
You
was,
crap your pants?
I was pretty excited when I found out it was obviously shocked at first. You're like, "Oh, you're in a whirlwind," but then he said Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm like, talk to Kevin, finish our conversation, hang up. I'm like, oh man, Pittsburgh. Like, I mean, I haven't spent much time in Pittsburgh just playing really, but
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about the team, it's obviously like legends,
It's
right?
it's
So,
loaded with legends, but it has its issues. You're stepping into a situation where it's like we need to win now to milk the rest of the prime out of these guys. But from my perspective, I've been traded with a family too and a new baby. Your wife, is she on board? Because now she's got to,
oh
you
yeah,
got to go pack up Buffalo. You got to figure out housing. You got to, there's a lot of moving parts here. So she's like, get me out of Buffalo, jackpot.
yeah. No, not necessarily. I mean, our daughter was born in Buffalo, so
Mm-hmm.
our first home as a family of three is Buffalo. So uh, I'm not gonna sit here and say I hated it. I didn't. We had a great time in Buffalo,
Yeah.
but it's a chance it's a fresh start and a chance to move on, and that's part of this business. You don't get many years
Mm-hmm.
of playing. You obviously know, and so we're really excited for the opportunity. And logistically speaking, yeah, there's a lot more to do. It adds some things to our to do list, and we actually have a family vacation in the Outer Banks
Oh,
coming up here
nice.
early August. So we're like, now I got to tell my mom, oh, we got to leave a couple days early. But
So
that's okay. That's okay.
no, a fresh start is good. And I trust me, I was a suitcase. I know this. It gives you a chance to kind of reintroduce yourself to a new GM, a new staff, and it's a fresh start. You obviously didn't have a first good impression with the Sabres. You said 25 games. It took you a while to get your footing. Are you excited to go to Pittsburgh? It's a new system. It's a new D partner. It's new everything. Are you nervous? What are you going to do differently to kind of just start fresh, start better? I guess.
I think I'm just gonna kind of get back to my roots. Am I nervous? I mean, sure, there's nerves. You're starting something new, but
Yeah.
I uh, I am excited, and I work out at BU with I work out with Hazy, Noel Achari,
Okay.
Grizz, and Justin Brazeau, who just signed Pitt. We all work out together, so it's kind of funny. We're making jokes that Pittsburgh management has cameras in our gym and they watch us work out every day. Because last year they traded for Hazy, they had signed Grizz. This year they traded me, signed Braz,
That's so funny.
and
Like, all right, he's done. Let's get him. So
signed
you're in.
Noel 2 years ago or whatever. So
You
it's
get to
kind of
play
funny.
with the legends. It's going to be hopefully good for you. I don't want to keep you too long. We've already been 38 minutes cheapers. We've been talking like little ladies here. But I got some questions for you. So coming from my Slack, this guy's a big Bruins fan. He wants to know what influenced you. It's coming from Matt McFarland or McParland, weird name. He knows what influenced your physical play style and which guys did you look up to growing up, because it's not normal for a guy your size to be doing what you do.
This is a funny one. Scott Stevens.
So you wanted to look up to a
I
player and you said Stevens.
No, no, he was exhilarating to watch. I mean, growing up, I'm the middle of three boys, so I have an older and younger brother,
Mm-hmm.
3 and 4 year age gap. So, I mean, I had best of both worlds. I got beat up by my older brother, and I beat up my younger brother. So I saw both sides of it. But I used to love playing with my older brother Tim. We played junior hockey together and high school hockey together. He was senior when I was a freshman, and he's pretty similar, to be honest. He's a competitor too. I mean, not as competitive as me,
Of
but
course not. You're way more
he's always
competitive.
he was always bigger, so I had to really earn it. So that's kind of what I had growing up, and I feel like just the physical play has always been part of me, and
Yeah.
it's it's got me to the next level every single time. How I play physical and compete on pucks, and I, and
What's your
then it got me to
favorite
the
hit
NHL.
that you've
So
laid out on somebody?
favorite hit, huh?
Yeah. The one you look back, you're like, I blew that guy up. That was a good one.
Bringing, I had actually a pretty big one actually in college. We were playing in the Frozen Four. We had played, we were playing North Dakota in the final in Tampa in 2016,
No way.
and I'm trying to think of the play. It was like an offensive neutral zone, and it ended up getting one back to me, and I totally like mishandled it, and I basically gave it right to the other team. And then a righty came down the left wall, and I kind of just swung with him in the middle, and he chose to cut to the middle, and I was just waiting for him.
Bam.
But then they spanked us 5-1, so it wasn't as
But that
good.
but that one hit. Give me a pro one so I can look it up. I'm not gonna be able to find that on YouTube.
No,
You got a
no,
bunch. Stop being so humble.
I don't have one in mind.
Oh
I
my
wish I
gosh.
did.
How do you not? My best one is Mikhail Grabowski, New York Islander. They buried that guy. Absolutely decleated him. Nothing?
I got nothing right now. I'm
All
trying to
right.
think of
Wow.
getting back to the bench and someone saying, "Holy
Holy shnikes. All right.
um,
Well, what a terrible answer, Connor. I appreciate that. All right.
that's
We'll do a
bad. That's
couple
my
more.
bad."
Something I want to know. Chara has been renowned for his wrestling skills, and I played with Bernsey for 3-4 years, and we would wrestle quite a bit. Have you wrestled Chara? Is this true, or is this an urban legend? Yes, you have wrestled him.
I've never wrestled Chara. You know,
Have you
I don't
seen him
think
wrestle?
I have not,
Oh,
but
so it's a legend. This guy doesn't wrestle. It's all
I,
just
I
lore.
I could see him wrestling like big black bears and
Listen,
and
okay,
stuff.
all right. Well, let's do some quick hits. This is kind of more for me because I like to know what's going on. Who's the hardest guy to defend in the NHL now?
Defend
Yeah, like you're a
Kucherov.
defenseman.
Kucherov.
Kucherov. Why?
Yeah.
Just because he's shifty?
So deceptive. Sees the whole ice so well. Panarin. I mean, I'm
Gosh, your division's
to
so
be honest,
tough.
it is. It is. I mean, obviously McDavid speed. I'm not usually out there against them unless I'm
Yeah,
PKing, right? But I mean, I've played I've played Tampa so many times,
yeah.
and I mean Kucherov, he's just fun to watch, honestly.
No
Not
kidding.
fun to defend, but to watch.
All right, who's the hardest guy to block their shot? Because Kucherov, not really a shooter, more of a disher. Who's the guy where it's just like, man, it's hard to get in front of that shot?
Ovi,
Is it
Ovi, he's
Ovi
sitting at that point,
still?
and that's my side. Oh, still, yeah, he rips that thing like
What's it like when you know you're killing penalties? And I played when Shea Weber was in the league, so I know what it's
mm,
like. And they go to him every time, and you're like, I'm gonna get buried on this, and you know it's not low, like it's going far side high. So
yeah.
what's it like fronting him? Because
You
you're in the
gotta
slot, and you gotta
you
like, what do you
can't
do?
yeah you can't go on a knee back by the crease. You got to get out of it, and you can anticipate it when Carlson's just pulling the F1 out and he's waiting to come to Ovi for. I mean, I remember one time I had to eat two and one PK. They just kept going. It was playoffs, and I just had to go there down on a knee. First one hit my stick, which was great.
And then the next one
Broke my
buries you in
stick
the
though, and then the
ribs.
next one buried me. Yeah.
What's your best D partner you've had?
Bestie partner.
Yeah, Chara for that one game.
Yeah. Legend.
All right, who's the most skilled guy you've played against? Is it Kucherov? Just
There's, I mean, he comes to mind obviously for obvious reasons.
yeah.
Um,
Gosh, there's some good players you played against.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I would say him.
You
Quick
get to
answer,
play with
him
one of
for
them.
sure. I mean, I played him so many times, and like I said, he's so I'm a big like close at the blue, right? So try to use the
Hmm.
blue line, help you out. Can't do that on him. Just gotta let
Just
him.
because he'll pull up, he'll go
He'll
deep, or
pull
he's
up. He's
just
just so deceptive. He's so deceptive. Like, and he's not the. I mean, yeah, sure, he's fast, but he's not the fastest player. He
no.
just his change of speed and his deception is out of this world.
You just don't know where he's going.
Yeah,
Like he's
yeah, and he sees the
crazy.
whole ice, so it's like,
Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah,
All right, I flew by this, but we were talking about skilled guys, and you said one of the most skilled guys you played with was JJ Peterka. And before
yeah.
we get off the show, I trust me, I know you don't want to answer this. What the hell happened? Because you got this skilled kid, 23 years old, probably like got sky's the limit for his future. Did you see any animosity or friction this year between him and just anybody? Because he's so good.
He is so skilled. He's when he was on this year, he's the
Yeah.
best player on the ice.
Wow.
And then when he's off, he's far from it.
Okay.
But there
Still
were,
pretty good.
yeah, he's gonna tear up this league.
So what happened? Why would Buffalo not want to? Obviously, he didn't want to stay. But
I'm sure
did you get
I'm
the
sure
feeling that there was
Buffalo
issues?
did want to keep him.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I could. I don't think Buffalo was the place where he saw himself long term. Um, Obviously highly skilled, and he's sometimes he could lose that, compete in that puck battle for sure.
Hmm.
Um, but man, when he was on, he was dangerous.
Yeah. I don't want you to get you in trouble. So you say no more. It's just you don't see a guy like that being traded every day. So yeah, and
Yeah, I
he's
think
obviously
there's.
now Buffalo's losing their arguably two most skilled players this offseason. So I don't know what Kevin's doing. And you and Paterka. So we'll see how it works out for him next year. I don't get it. I
Uh,
don't get this franchise, Connor. But anyways, last one. Advice for kids. You're obviously a well-versed guy. You went to college for 4 years. Did you get your degree? You must have.
I did mechanical engineering.
Shut the
You
front
too,
door.
right? You too. What
Yeah.
what engineering did you do?
Mechanical.
Oh, you were mechanical too? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was engineering. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah,
I had no clue. Isn't that bizarre?
yeah. I was
Stupid
actually
of
going to
me.
mention that before when we hopped on before the
Oh
when we were
my
just talking
gosh. You
before.
can work for my firm when you're done. You want to move to Traverse City,
Right.
Michigan. Oh,
Maybe,
it's beautiful. It's a
maybe.
beautiful city. But advice to
Hockey ends
kids, because
eventually, right?
you've obviously worked your tail off to get to where you are. You appreciate everything. I can tell. Some advice to kids. If you were to see young Connor, 9 years old, rip around the rink, what would you say to him?
I mean, a couple things. I mean, I would say work hard and have fun doing it because
Yeah.
it is great, and hockey's given me so much in my life. And then another thing is get good grades because maybe it's cliche, but my mom was always big in academics. My dad was athletics, right? And he
Yeah.
loves hockey. So I kind of had the best of both worlds where I had to, I had to get good grades or my mom I was gonna get in some trouble.
Yeah.
So it was good for me. And then, then you get to high school and you're looking at colleges and you're like, you want all the options. You don't want to be your grades, the limiting factor in where you decide to go to college. Um, and then, I mean,
Yeah.
for me, if I saw my 9-year-old self, I'd tell myself to pick my head up, right? So, I mean, like when you have the puck, pick your head up, right? It's obviously such an important part, and the less time you're looking at the puck, the more ice you see, and that's what I would tell myself if I was talking to 10-year-old Connor.
Especially in today's game. All right, one more question.
Right.
I want if you could light up one guy in the NHL, who would it be?
Like with a hit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, McDavid, catch him across the middle.
No.
All right,
This is a
nobody.
good one. This is a good one.
Yeah, you want to?
I don't
Just
usually, I
no.
don't usually, I don't usually play differently if it's someone. I mean, if it's someone highly skilled, I'll be a little more cautious when I'm defending.
Mm-hmm.
If I could hit someone, huh? Trying to think of the
Connor's
hardest hit I ever took. Oh, I know it. You could look up this hit too.
okay.
Marcus Foligno.
The Moose.
Moose hit me so hard one time. Hardest hit I've ever took by far.
No kidding. He's a good dude,
Oh,
good Catholic guy.
yeah. He hit me so hard. I was coming around the net. It was like kind of a race to the puck. Moose met me on the other side. Greenway was chasing,
Mm-hmm.
and Greener says he didn't see this. We talked about it. He gave me a little nudge forward,
Ah,
and I was coming in, and Moose hit me so hard.
buried
I was
you.
coming around, so net was here. I was coming around the goalie's blocker
Yeah.
side, and Greener pushed me, and Moose met me on that other side, and my stick went. Oh my
Why is
God!
Greenway pushing you?
He was trying to get me lit up on the other side.
Oh my gosh, what a guy.
We played against each other in college. We kind of always went at it until we
Unbelievable. All
became
right, well,
friends
listen,
in
I don't want to
Buffalo.
keep you anymore. You've been great, man. Well, I've kept you 20 minutes longer than I said you would. I appreciate it. Good luck with the move. Good luck with the family and the little baby. And good luck with Pittsburgh. Tear it up, man. I hope you play well with those legends, and we'll talk soon. Thank
Awesome.
you very
Thanks,
much,
John.
Connor Clifton. All right, everybody, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you